Hey guys, John here with Edge Paintball. I'm excited today to show you the new Bunkerking Control 2 loader. So we were at the Paintball Summit event at the NXL Vegas. It was the week after NXL Vegas. We took a tech class on the new Bunkerking Control loader. And I want to show you the differences between the Control 1, Control 2, and then obviously the leading loader, the Spire 5, because they're similar in price, have some similar features. I just wanted to show you everything I know about it. And that way you can make a more intelligent decision when you're looking for a new loader. The Control loader, the original one, will still be available for $160. It's a very popular loader. Of course, the Spire 5 or the Spire platform in general has been a much more popular loader. But the Control loader has definitely taken over a little bit. It's slowly stealing market share because I think it has a different look. It is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit smaller. And a lot of players really like a lot of the features. So just to go over it real quick. So the main difference between the Control 2 and the Control 1 is price. So the standard Control 1 will be $160, the new one will be $225, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. But you get a few different things. You get a $45 speed feed, which if you were to buy that for your Control loader, your standard one, that's going to put you up to $200 immediately. And you get the spring ramps, which I think the spring ramps are about $25, I believe $20 to $25. So this already comes with a lot of upgrades that people are already buying for the Control loader. So I think it's just a already upgraded Control 1 with some other significant changes that I want to tell you about. So with the new Control 2 loader release, Bunkerking has said that the top shells are staying exactly the same. So I believe on the Control 1 it was a 200 round capacity, but on Control 2 it already comes with the plus 20 shell kit basically, which is just the 220 rounds, which is exactly the same as the Spire 5. So that was a very popular platform. People loved it. 220 is a really good amount. And you know, if you're shooting off break or playing tournaments or even scenarios, you get more rounds, more capacity, which is kind of nice. So it already comes with that increased capacity, and again, it comes with a speed feed and also a lid. So just to show you some main differences. So one of the main differences that you immediately notice on the back of the loader is the Control 2 now has the power button on the back of the loader compared to the Control 1 that had it on the bottom. I do like how hard it is to press, and I don't mean hard in a bad way. I mean you have to actually make an effort to press this, so this loader is not going to accidentally turn on in your bag, which I have that issue, when you're travel, stuff like that, or just throw it in the back, in your bag and there's a bunch of stuff in there. You can actually have your loader turn on so you get to the field and your batteries are dead. So I really like the way this button feels. You have to be very deliberate to push the power button. The power button on the Control 1 was on the bottom here, and you also have this angle indicator that's no longer available on the Control 2. This would tell you at the elevation that you're pointing the loader up. It was kind of a cool feature, but they got rid of that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and open them up here. So they open up the same because the top shell is the same. And I'm going to weigh these here in a second as well so I can show you the difference on them. So one of the main things that you notice immediately is that the drive assembly is different on the Control 1 loader. This is very similar to the Spire 5. I'll show you that here. So whenever you pull this out, you see that the tray is very similar in the Spire 5. But in the new Control 2, you see it's more sleek. So what they were saying is that when you load, this is actually going to load a little bit faster because there's less stuff in the way. And I think you have a little bit more room in there. Obviously the capacity is the same, but it does seem like there's more room. Things are going to flow a little bit better without the giant drive cone in the way there. So the way they've changed this is this actually has a reverse threaded thumb knob here. I don't care for this particular. I know their intentions are that it wants to be toolless, which I think is a great idea. It does come with another screw that you can just manually tighten down, which I think if I was going to use this loader, that's what I would go with. Because I just feel like this doesn't lock into place or have any resistance on it. So who knows? Maybe it'll come undone, and I would hate to shoot this out the front of your gun. So I really love the idea. They've already thought about it. It's a cool feature. Go ahead, I think, put the screw in, be safe, be good to go. But if I wanted to remove the drive cone, I'll go ahead and reverse thread it, unscrew that there, and then pull the cone out, or the little drive mechanism out. Good to go there. I was told they're going to release different teeth for these, so if you want a softer or a harder feel, so maybe you're shooting more recreational paint, or maybe you're trying to shoot really, really high-end paint through your gun and it's breaking in your loader, you can go with replacement paddles. That'll be nice. And one thing they explained is that now that the motor is sitting sideways here, it's more direct, so you're going to get a quicker response when you're turning and shooting off break. So for the tournament guys or the front guys that are snap shooting or even shooting off break, when you turn to shoot your first ball, you want to make sure you always have tension and the loader needs to be very responsive immediately. That way you get your first stream out immediately and you can ramp up. On some of the other loaders that have been released in the past, they're a little more delayed. And so on this one, they're saying because of the new motor design, it should be more instant, a faster response. And so when you're snapping, you're trying to get in a gunfight, you're going to not have any hesitation at all, which is really nice. Again, these do come with the already spring ramps inside of them installed, where the Control 1 did not come with that. It's good to go there. And then to pull it apart, you press your 2 fingers here and pull it out. Where the other loader, very similar, pull it out. So the Control 1 was magnetic, but the Control 2 actually snaps into place, so don't worry about it. So here's the difference between the boards. One thing that I like that they mentioned is that now it has a micro switch on the back here, or on-off switch I should say, and it's modular. What I mean by that, it's not attached to the board. So let's say your on-off button goes bad. On this one, you don't have to worry about, oh, I've got to replace a $50 board anymore. You just unplug it, and replace the front switch. That's the thing you're going to use the most besides the motor, and of course the motor is replaceable. So I really like how you can take this off, replace it. The Control 2 now has eyes inside of it rather than, I believe they said the accelerometer on the Control 1. So the eyes are what the Spire 5 have, what the IR2 loader has, and I just think it's more reliable personally. It may be cheaper to make, who knows, but I like it. It just seems to be very, very quick, very responsive, and no issues. Eyes in a loader have been around since the Halo, kind of since the Revy. I don't know if the eyes are the same in the Revy, but it's just a very proven method of feeding your loader. One thing I like that's new to their loaders is this little, I'm gonna call it an eye pipe, which is like what Dye calls it, but this is a little eye pipe that you can clean and remove it. Apparently this is gonna be available for the Spire 5s as well in the future, but you can actually, this covers the eye sensors in there, so that way you don't get a lot of dirt and stuff, but you can pull it out very easy and it snaps into place. Obviously the Control 1 did not have that because it doesn't have eyes, and the Spire 5, you can't actually get it out. So if it gets worn out or scratched, which is what I would imagine, if that plastic gets scratched over time, then your eyes can't see each other and you have to replace that piece. This one is not toolless for the Spire 5, but in the Control 2, you can remove it very easy, replace it, just don't lose it, obviously. And your eyes sit right here on each side. So very well protected by this eye pipe there. What I like too is this is a much smaller board here. The battery pack plugs in there, the motor plugs in there, so everything is very simple, very easy to get to compared to the Control 1. All right, I want to weigh these because I was messing with it and I feel like one loader is actually heavier than the other one, and they've made some changes, so let's see what it is. I'll put this back together real quick and good to go. All right, go ahead and screw this back in. Don't forget this is reverse threaded, tighten it up, good to go. So I'm going to weigh these with the same top shell in each one of them. Well, I guess I can do it without that. I'll do it as they come. Obviously the Control 1 should be lighter straight out of the box because it comes with a smaller shell. And then I'm going to throw some combinations in there so that way you can see it. And I'm going to weigh the Spire 5. If you have any questions about this or something I missed, let us know. We're going to actually have one of these for testing and for shooting at the local field this weekend. And so if you have any questions about the Control 2 loader, just comment below. We can tell you what we think of it. Okay, hopefully you can see that there. So there we go. So we're going to go ahead and start with, go and put it on ounces, Spire 5. And then none of these have batteries in them. So 16.3 ounces for the Spire 5. 14.4 ounces for the Control 1, so almost 2 ounces lighter for the Control 1. And then for the Control 2, we're at 15. So 0.6 ounces heavier on the Control 2 than the Control 1. But remember, this has a 220 shell, this has a 200 shell. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put the same 220 shell on both of them, so you can really tell apples to apples what you got. And speed feed. Good to go? Okay. So this is Control 1 with the 220 shell and speed feed. 14.7. And what was the other one? 15? I think it's 15. 14.7 for Control 1 and 15. So 0.3 ounces lighter. The Control 1 with the same speed feed and top shell is 0.3 ounces. So pretty much identical. I would say you're not going to feel the difference of it. But what I'm curious about, which part is actually the heaviest? And I think I know, but we'll see here. Not to get too crazy. Okay, so the tray, that's Control 2, 6.4. So the tray is actually lighter in the Control 2. 6.3 on the Control 2 versus 6.5 on the Control 1. So the tray is lighter, but the bottom has got to be different. So 14.1 for the Control 2 bottom shell, and 3.7. Oh wow! So the main difference is the bottom shell. The bottom shell weight is heavier on the Control 2 than the Control 1. 4 ounces, 3.5. So 0.5. There's your 0.4. Pretty much. That seems to be your 0.4 difference, assuming everything else is pretty much the same. That's pretty cool. So I wonder what the difference is. Maybe it's larger shell. Maybe it's the power button, all that good stuff in there. Maybe thicker shell. I think I did remember in the class, actually now that I think about it, I think the feed neck is thicker on the Control 2. Some people, I believe, if I remember with the tech class, they were complaining about how the loader kind of moved back and forth a little bit. Maybe it wasn't as thick around the neck as some of the other loaders, but now this is definitely thicker, so I like that a lot. Yeah, heck yeah. So there's the loader. If you guys have any questions about it at all, let me know. As far as feed rate, you're talking probably at least 15 balls a second, probably burst rate of a higher, closer between 15 and 20 for all of these loaders. We do have a shooting video of all the loaders except for the Control 2 at the end of the video. So if you have any questions about that, you can go ahead and watch that video. Other than that, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, make sure you shop our website. If you appreciate our videos, prohpb.com. We'll have all of the different colors available. They come in a ton of different colors, and we'll have them come in I guess, early April, depending on when you see this video. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.